Falcons fans, welcome into episode. What is it, Mike? Is it 8? We at 8? We're at 8.
I have no idea what
I think we're at
episode it is,
8.
to be honest.
We are at 8. And this is Out of Your Falcon Mind, an Atlanta Falcons fan cast. And we are previewing the Falcons at the Cowboys on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I am one of your hosts.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, buddy. I'm one of your hosts, John Yates. Mike Cottrell is the other host that you hear. Mike, how's your day going, man?
Always a good day, buddy. I had a bad day like long time ago, like just to see how it felt. And I didn't like it. So I haven't had one since.
Yeah. That's what I always recommend people is like, if you choose to, stay away from those bad days and just.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's how you got to think of it, man. When you get up in the morning, you got a choice to where to put your attention. It's going to be some things that piss you off and some things that make you smile. I just happen to put mine on things that make me smile, buddy.
That's right. And those things that piss you off, you just kind of push them aside.
Like Sam Darnold. I'm trying to block him out of my memory. I just want him to get hit by a car or something. No, I'm just but he really
man, that tweet I sent you though, man, that was hilarious.
That's what's hilarious.
I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's all over Twitter and probably other social media too. But Ian Rappaport was reporting that Sam Darnold was an incomplete fracture, and this dude responded and said, "The man can't even complete a fracture."
That is a good joke. I don't care what y'all say. That is a funny, solid man. Joke.
Yeah, I hope he gets better, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get started, we wanted to thank, if you're a veteran out there listening, just in general, we want to give a big thank you to all the veterans here on Veterans Day for being out there and doing what you do for our country. It means so much, man, to us. We both come from military households. My father was in the Air Force. Mike, both of your parents, right? Were
and
my
brother.
Were they both
all in the Air Force? Yep.
All Air Force? Awesome. Damn, it's an Air Force podcast. Anyway, yeah. So we just want to get that out there because really and truly, there's no more, not a greater selfless act than putting it on the line for the country, for your country. So greatly appreciate that. And moving on, Mike, why don't you tell the folks how they can get in touch with us?
Well, that would be impossible for me to do because I have yet to memorize our Instagram and our Twitter. So back to you, John. I don't know about heart. I know it's Out of Your Falcon Mind.
There it is. That's the Instagram. That's it.
Okay.
So that's the Instagram. Twitter, you're gonna be Out of Your Effing Mind. So it's the same thing, but you just have an F and the N in the middle.
And an F and the N.
That's right.
And we also have a Facebook group, right?
A Facebook group that you can search up, and we'll just send a request and we'll get you approved. And our email address is atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. So you can get in touch with us there. And one thing, we haven't got a name for this segment yet, but or the series, we're going to have one in the next couple of days because Mike's a genius when it comes to that shit. But so we talked about it at the very end of the Saints recap show. We're going to have if you're not from Atlanta, you're not from Georgia, and you're a Falcons fan, we want to hear that story. We want to hear how you became a Falcons fan or why you became a Falcons fan. How long ago was it? What players, was your favorite player? Everything.
Remember, y'all, that me and John live in Georgia now. We're Falcon fans. We live here now. But when we started being fans of our team, we was nowhere near Georgia. So if you have that experience, I think that's a unique experience to share with us. We want to hear what players got you on board. Was it the uniform? Is it a coach you liked? Like, what did you like about Atlanta, and how the world did you end up a Falcon fan in the territory of another NFL team?
Right.
We would love to know.
Yeah, because I mean, if you, back I don't know if this is kind of dating me a little bit or us, but back in the day for the Braves, for instance, there was Turner Broadcast, there was TBS, right? And the Braves, you can see the Braves anywhere. There's Braves fans in Alaska, there's Braves fans in Wyoming because of TBS. And the Cubs had the same thing with WGN, because and I'm not a Cubs fan, but I mean, anytime I got home from school and wanted to watch baseball, it seemed like there was always a Cubs game on, so I'd turn on WGN and watch that. So we don't have the same thing with the Falcons. In fact, when we were growing up, and Mike's right. I mean, he didn't move here, like we said in the intro. Which, by the way, if you haven't listened to our intro to Your Falcon Mind, our very first episode, go back and check that out. Mike moved here later in life. I moved here when my parents moved here when I was 3. So basically, I did grow up in and around Atlanta, but my family was a lot of Redskins fans. So that's kind of how I was nudged, I guess you could say, toward. And I supported them, but I was in Atlanta and the team was here, so that's who I wanted to support. So I definitely definitely chose the Falcons early in about 80, 88, 89, I guess you could say. But back then, man, some of the games were blacked out. If we didn't sell out, they were blacked out. We couldn't even see. If you didn't go to the game, you couldn't see it.
And
before
I'm gonna tell you,
changed.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why it's kind of cool too. We want you all to be a part of our family. I know it must get lonely in Pittsburgh or shit, Indiana, if you in Houston, no matter where you at, if you a Falcon fan, you are probably by yourself in the bar. You probably by yourself. So we want y'all to join us, and you always can tune into the podcast.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to send you stuff. We would like for you to be able to join our family, always be part of our family, to know you got a Falcon home.
That's right.
In Georgia.
That's right. Yeah, that's what from the get-go, that's what we wanted to do, is just create a community. We're not doing this shit to get rich. I can promise you that, because we ain't making a dime right now. If we ever do, that'll just be icing on the cake. But we are doing it because we love the Falcons. We enjoy each other's company. We like talking to each other, and we just enjoy it. That's the only reason we're doing it.
We want an extended Falcon family with the coolest Falcon fans. There are 2 types of Falcon fans. The type that they say they're a fan, but all they ever do is trash our team and trash our players. They always got attitude. You always down about something. We don't want them people. We want to have the coolest group of fans that love Atlanta Falcons. We want the coolest family. We want the coolest forum. So we want all our cool fans to come join us, and all them other fans to go be a Saints fan or something.
Yeah, exactly. Pick their team. And so on that, so yeah, you can send us a message on any of those social media platforms that I talked about. You can email it to us. We'll read it. If you're interested in even coming on the show, hit us up. Say, if you got the capability of, Mike and I Zoom when we record. And like I said, we're gonna end up recording together several shows, but we can just get you in on Zoom and we can talk for a little bit. And I think it'd be cool, man. I think it'd be really cool to see where we're all at. And this could be, in the country or anywhere, man, all over the world, wherever. If you're a Falcons fan and you're listening to this, please send us something.
And already, just send us anything. And already, I just have to say this: we just started, so this is a small thing right now. We already have the coolest group of people who pay attention to our podcast, who write us on Twitter, who get at us on Instagram. It's already the best group of people. So just join that group and we can have even more fun with you. And like John said, it wouldn't be anything to just Zoom you in, as long as you got a cool perspective on our team.
Exactly. So, and if you're listening to us, whatever platform you're on, whether it's Spotify or, Overcast, there's a ton of them out there, just follow, subscribe. If you're on iTunes, hit us a 5-star review, write a few nice words about us, and we'll definitely shout you out on the pod, because that's, there's nothing better than that. So we appreciate that so much. It helps other Falcons fans find us. So that's that's what we look for in that. And moving on now, looking at our show sheet, because it's so important, Mike, to have a show sheet. You know what I'm talking about? So
important, so professional. We so professional, man. It's just unbelievable.
Oh man. So look, looking at a few just overall little Falcons nuggets from today. The Pro Football Focus rated our Falcons, and where they rated like the highest, basically the grades for the 5 highest grades for the Falcons. And if you had to guess, what would you think at those 5 players? Could you pick any of them?
So the players on our team who you saying would have the 5 highest grades for this season? Is that what you're asking?
Yep, for offense and defense. I'll give you a few shots.
I would say Matt Ryan.
Yep, that's one.
AJ Terrell.
Matt Ryan's number 2, 85.4. AJ Terrell's number 3 at 81.5. You'll probably get one more. I don't know if you'll get the other two.
The tight end. I forgot his Jesus.
Nope.
I just drew a blank.
Kyle Pitts,
He's not on it.
Nope.
Okay, Kyle Pitts is not on it. I'm gonna have to say Deion Jones.
Nope.
He's Grady Jarrett.
Nope. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Cordell Patterson. Gotta be.
He's
on
number
the
one. He's number one at 90.2.
So who am I missing? Oh, two people I'm missing. I'm gonna have to say the kicker. Is he on there?
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you because you're never gonna get it. Chris Lidstrom, buddy, offensive guard, is number 4. It has a grade of 78.4.
No, I'm confused. Somebody from our offensive line is on.
How about that?
Who's the 5th? Is he from the offensive line?
And his name's not Jake Matthews.
That's crazy.
And number 5 is Jaylen Hawkins. And we've been talking about him.
We have been. He is, yes,
safety, man.
He deserves a raise, man.
I mean, yeah, he's a rookie, and he's at 76.3. But hey, I'll take it for safety and learning. I mean,
y'all got to understand how hard the safety position is because you got to know stuff. He's not supposed to know nothing. He's a rookie.
And not only that, we were just talking before we started recording, as reported earlier by Tori McElhaney on Twitter. Dean P said that he's basically he was asked what percentage of the defense his scheme have they basically shared and they got going, and he said basically right now at 30%, and they just got to 30. They were at 20 to 25. He said that, and that's how complicated apparently his scheme is.
I love it.
So I mean, that's great. I mean, that's kudos to him. And then looking too, there's been and Mike and I talked about this on the last show, and there's been still a lot of just Matt Ryan. I mean,
I'm dying to hear this because he bought out. I'm dying. It gotta be.
I didn't even know. It's just the stuff that they keep. People just keep. It's like you can't be happy. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? But
it seems like a miserable existence. Like if you're having to that's
what I said. That's half the fan base.
If you're trying to find one stat, or you're trying to find one type of whatever whatever you're trying to pull out just to make your point, that I just don't get it, man. So anyway, this is there's a few tweets that I saw that one looked like he was in our head. I'll tell you that in a second. Right. This is from Kevin Keneally on Twitter. This is the stats this season. So, take it. Stats are stats, but they tell you a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So 98.1 passer rating, 58.4 QBR, 2,157 passing yards, 69% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3 fourth quarter comebacks, 3 game winning drives. This is all this despite being pressured on almost 26% of his dropbacks, which is the highest he's had since 2018. His average time he has to get rid of the ball is 2.3 seconds. 2.3 seconds. And that is that's the worst since Pro Football Reference has started tracking these things back in 2018.
The worst.
And if you do that, and if you don't,
Calvin Ridley,
right? And just to top it all off, we have basically one of the worst, if not the worst, rushing offenses in football. We've got 643 yards total yards, which is 4th worst, 4 rushing touchdowns, which is 3rd worst, and 3.4 yards a carry, which is 2nd worst. So we're 4-4. We have a new offense. We have a new defense. We have a new coaching staff. Half the team are young guys. We don't have any big name wide receivers out that are playing currently right now. We've got a rookie tight end. We haven't. If it's not for Cordell Patterson, we would be in a world of hurt.
So I don't of hurt.
So I don't know. I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that if you're still hating on Matt, it's just because you don't like him. Because there's nothing else I can think of.
Hey man, like I said, like John just said, it's not all about stats, but stats do mean something. And what John's point is the point that I've made every week on this podcast. You give the man dirt and mud, and he builds you a sandcastle every week with shit.
Yep.
You give him shit and he turns shit into ice cream on a weekly basis. And the nerve of you all, man, that man threw for 343 yards. He bought out, and y'all still had to go on Twitter and talk shit about the man. I'm just telling you this. When he leave us, if we go 14 years before we get somebody who's decent to be our quarterback, I I don't want to hear. I want them same people to get off Twitter then.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and this is the one. This is from Falcons Kingdom on Twitter. So now I actually
That's a
responded
good
back.
name.
It is. And I actually responded back to him. I said, man, it's like you. I mean, literally in our heads, because anybody. This is his tweet. He said, all these Falcons fans that are always looking and hoping for Ryan to make a mistake, and always constantly nitpicking his every move to latch on to. Are you not tired? Are you not miserable? Geesh. Go on and root for a QB that you like and save yourself and the rest of us all the trouble.
That was amazing.
Get the hell out.
He really did something that
Seriously,
just
go like
for
somebody else.
you like, because that's all you doing is saying there have been Falcon fans. I'm telling you, I've had this experience numerous times. I'm talking to a person and I respect their intelligence, and they tell me like, Matt will have a game. Just say, for instance, he throws 320 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people that have told me to my face, where if he'd have threw 363, y'all would have won the game. So he ain't how you think he ain't really doing what. And I'm thinking that's a real argument people have made. Where if he threw for like 100 more yards and like another touchdown, then you probably would have. And I'm just sitting there looking at you like, man, you want him to like have a sack, an interception. You want him to coach. You want him to throw it and catch it.
Yep.
You want him to block. It's like, man, y'all scrutinizing dude to a fine with a fine tooth comb, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
he really balls every week. It's just ridiculous. Would you just come off it already?
Yeah, man, and like we talked about before, and like we have, like, I mean, we're going to be honest. When he doesn't perform, we're not Matt Ryan.
We're gonna get him.
Fans.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's just we look at the game and we look at the team and we see that's not the issue.
Great point.
I mean, he's not the issue. Like, he's not the reason we didn't win or we're not winning. Like, I mean, we said last week, what he with that win over the Saints, the 12th most wins all time in the history of NFL. Like, that's not a fluke. I mean,
in the history of the sport.
I mean, that's
like that it's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stats are facts. So you can't argue with these. And like John just said, if you hear us every week and you hear him get praised every week, that is not because he's paying us on the side, or that's because somebody we know, or we hope to meet him. That's not anything. That's because what John just said is true. We watch the game and we say, well, he played excellent, but here, and here were our problems.
Yep.
Now, I'm not gonna just, man, like I said, I have no respect for people whose brain, the top floor is if you lost, it had to be the quarterback.
Right.
And it don't go past that. It's just the extent of your football mind is you can't be a good quarterback if you don't have a Super Bowl ring. And if your team is like losing, you have to be a trash quarterback. I can't even have a real conversation with you.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it gets magnified because of his position, clearly. So his decision making is going to be, scrutinized to the nth degree anyway. So I mean, I don't expect the man to be perfect. Like I said, when the Panthers game, we were critical. I mean, because he had some bad passes.
Yep.
I mean, like, he did some things that you can't do.
He got him.
And I mean, and that's, and it's all, armchair quarterback shit. But I mean, because we ain't out there playing. I mean, it was but I mean, anyway.
And I just always got his back just because I feel like he's just underappreciated. It's like having somebody on your team who is the reason for all of your success, and you blame him for all of your failures instead. I have no respect for that. And that's why I always have his back.
Yeah, and the last thing on this, and we'll get off of it, because we kind of seem like we talk about Matt every week, but if y'all would stop talking shit, we wouldn't have to talk about it.
I will come to his defense. If y'all, if y'all leave him alone, we'll shut up.
Yeah. So, but no, this is the last thing I'm gonna say is also I saw Arthur said, one of the reasons he thinks he is not as appreciated, or that he's underappreciated, is because he has been successful in so many different offensive schemes. I mean, if you look back as far as, Malarkey, Sark, Shanahan, now his new one here. I mean, like, he's and well, who am I missing? Dude, Cutter. I mean, like, like he's been successful in all those different.
Through all the shit.
I mean, some have been better, some have been not so good, but I mean, he's did his job to the best that he can. I mean, like, even though some of them were not.
Throughout all of the coaching changes, throughout all the coordinators, throughout all of like the running changes and the backs we've had, throughout all our tight ends, throughout all the like this struggles we had on defense, Matt Ryan has performed.
Yep.
He's been the one constant. So
that's it.
So that's why we always he's the one constant. Yep. He's going to show up and come the ball.
Yep. And that's it. And like I said, he's a human being, so he's not going to be perfect the whole time. So I mean, the other boys
135 QBR rating last week, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
12th in winning of all time, Matt Ryan.
Yep.
You gotta love this guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the
15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, Matt Ryan. I'm gonna keep going.
Got pissed off.
Yeah, I love Matt Ryan.
All right, so and the last thing we'll say, the kid was on a Pro Football Focus as well this week. AJ Terrell has allowed 0 touchdowns in man coverage this season. Now, Mike, I suck at math, but I think allowing 0 touchdowns is about the best you can do. I
believe that to be perfect. I believe that to be, and I said this last week. Number one, it's good to be good, but it's easier to be good in zone. Easier to be when you one-on-one. I tell people I respect the quarterback. To me, the hardest job in sports is the cornerback. You by yourself with a dominant person, and there is no help coming for if you hit him, and all of the rules are in his favor.
Yeah, and that's a great point.
You still got 0, and you shorter than the man, and he got a height thing, and you smaller than everybody, you're shorter than everybody, and all the rules are in their favor, and you got 0.
Yeah, and as
by his jersey.
Yeah, man, and that's a great point because just like cornerbacks have to have a short memory as well, because I mean if they get burnt, I mean, which they're all going to at some point, I mean, they got to forget about that and go on to the next play and and try to figure it out. So yeah, that's definitely, I agree with you. That's probably one of the most difficult positions on the field. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I said this last week. I'm so excited. He's played well, but at the same time, I have to give him an asterisk of you haven't really, strapped anybody that was top tier. CeeDee Lamb is top tier.
Yeah,
so I'm dying, and he's gonna either be on him or who is it? Amari Cooper, and I'm thinking he's gonna be on CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, me too.
That is gonna be interesting. I just want to see these 2 young players. I gotta see this.
And it's gonna be a weird dynamic too, or not weird dynamic, but I mean, a lot of Falcons fans wanted us to draft CD instead of Terrell. I mean, like they were, and so it'll be interesting because CD's having a hell of a year so far.
Hell of a year.
So looking, Mike, man, overall, at the Cowboys. Okay, so both of us being from DC, me in Virginia, growing up in Atlanta, but like I said, having those kind of Redskins roots. So I was taught at a very young age to hate the Cowboys. So you're a little different because I think your family's split.
My mom is from Texas, huge Cowboy fan. My mom. Okay, so my house was always split because my dad and my brother are Redskin fans. Now you would assume it would all be like, it would be great in my house when they play to be fun. My mom take this really, she really don't like the Redskins. Like it's like in her blood, like she doesn't like them.
Like she won't talk to them for a week.
She'll get mad if they lose. Like she'll have an attitude, and if they win, she is her worst self. I love my mom. I think I got the best mom, but my mom is the worst version of herself if Dallas wins, because she's gonna let you know for a week straight that
can't even answer the phone.
You shouldn't talk trash about. Oh no, you can't. And I've bet her like money, but you just assume if I lose to my mom wouldn't make me pay her out. My my mom would call me and be like, you need to cash out me my money right now because you lost. Like, she take it real serious. So and she been talking trash all week. Like, we would be at the game if it wasn't for the COVID thing.
Yeah.
Because we have gone, if they play here, me and her went, and we went in like Dallas, when they played.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
we would be
I remember that. I remember that when you went. Yeah, you sent me some pictures when you were there.
Yeah, we would be at the game. Man, the stadium is awesome, but I don't know that ours isn't better.
Yeah.
I think it's like number 1 and 2. The stadiums are 1 and 2, and you could put theirs first or ours first. It don't matter. Those are 2 awesome stadiums.
Yeah, I haven't been to
it's amazing.
but I mean, yeah, Mercedes-Benz is ridiculous.
And everybody it's truly America's team like this. They have fans in all 50 states.
And that's part of the reason I think I didn't like them as well, because, like a 90, they won it 3 times in the early 90s, right?
And that's when everybody, it was like
everybody jumped on. It was Emmett and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman.
Yep.
And everybody had, I don't know about you at my school, man, everybody got the Dallas Cowboys starter jacket. And it's just, man, it was just,
all the Super Bowl wins on. Yeah.
Fucking hated it, man. And so outside of the Saints, really, the Cowboys are my second, like, most hated
team that
Like and maybe in this, the Eagles are really damn close, but I mean, like, it's definitely, I mean, because the Eagles, have had a beef with the Falcons for a long time. We've got a little rivalry with that going back a ways. And I mean, you remember that game, not to get off on that, but when Brian Dawkins almost killed Michael Vick.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Hold on for a minute. I got to stop you there. The hardest hit that I've seen in the sport was a hit I saw when the Falcons played the Eagles, and I'm not even being funny here, y'all.
Deshaun Jackson. You talking about
Dante Robinson?
Yes.
Man, I'm not even being funny here, y'all. I thought for a long time that one of them was deceased. Like when I saw that hit. If y'all didn't see that hit, it was the hardest hit. These two people went at each other and hit each other's in the head, in the helmet, full speed, and they both dropped and they weren't moving. I'm talking about both of them went out. And I thought, you know what, man, somebody's neck broke and they're dead. And thank God they both got up. But Dante Robinson hit Deshaun Jackson. I thought he killed him or he killed Dante.
Yeah, man, I knew exactly what you were talking about as soon as you said it, because I remember watching that live and I was like,
YouTube that if y'all didn't see that hit like that, the sound alone was like, oh man, I think somebody died.
Yeah, and that was
Dante.
See, Dante Rob, that was a while too. That might have been before they really started cracking down on some of the hits too, because like now he probably
it was him. He would be out. Yeah, it was helmet to helmet. It was head on head, full speed.
Yeah. So
and I love Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he'll do that fast as hell. But so that was just my kind of my opinion of the Cowboys. Going, I never liked them, and I want to see them, just like the Saints. Like, I want to see them lose every week. I want to see the fan base and just disarray, and and just Jerry Jones crying or whatever. Like, I just don't like them. So. And now you add in the caveat that Dan Quinn is the defensive coordinator, and
2 of our players over there.
Exactly, Keanu Neal and KZ.
Yeah. Yep.
So so
they have 2 of our men safeties.
Yeah.
They got 2 of our who's Quinn? He's the defensive coordinator. So they got our coach and 2 safeties.
Yep. And so it's going to be interesting. A little twist there. Right now, I think the line started around 8 points. Cowboys favored 8, and now it's up to 9.5. So the money is definitely on the Cowboys.
Nobody's going to pick us.
No. Yeah. I mean, looking at every athletic writer picked the Cowboys. It was last season was when we played them, and it was we went up 20-0 in the first quarter. And like we do, and like we did under Dan Quinn a lot.
Was that the field goal or the punt where they were standing around?
That was the onside kick. They didn't know. Yeah, the onside kick they didn't think they could touch, which still blows my mind. But so that was that game. It's going to be
that game.
Huh?
We had that game 1.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were 20-0 in the first quarter. I mean, you just, that's the problem we've had. I mean, that's the problem we had under Quinn. We could never step on their throats and just put them away. And as the NFL, teams are going to come back. And it's tough when you're up, as I'm sure as a player, when you're up that big, keeping the intensity the entire season. I get it, but you got to. You're a professional now. This is your job. This is what you got to do. That's what separates the good teams and the best teams. It really is. So taking a quick look at where we're, how we're matched up against them. The Cowboys are number one in total yards per game. They're averaging about 434 yards per game. They are third in points per game at 30. They are fourth in rushing per game at 143, and they are third in passing per game at 292 yards. So the defense they're looking at, which is, and this is where stats, we can get a little weird, but it is what it is. Their defense is 21st with yards per game in yards per game, and then they're 25th in passing yards, and they're 10th in the rushing allowed, and then they're 18th in points allowed at 24. So you look at us on defense, we're actually ranked 17th. It's kind of like last week with the Saints. It was like our pass defense was rated higher than theirs. And a lot of that's due to clearly to Terrell and, some of this good plays that they've been able to make. And then for us, also continuing on defense, we are 13th in passing yards per game. We are 24th in rushing. I'm sorry, passing yards allowed. We're 24th in rushing yards allowed, and we're 28th in points allowed, which is not great at 28.
Not at all.
Yeah. Especially if they're averaging 30. On the offensive side, we're 20th in total yards in yards per game. We're 12th in passing. We are 29th in rushing, which we knew that, and 21st in points per game at 22. Turnover as well. Turnover there in +3. We're at -3. So of course you always want to be in the positive. We haven't got there yet because we cannot seem to turn the ball over all that efficiently. And that's all from Pro Football Reference.
That is going to be interesting. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if they have a hole, if they have a chink in their armor, it's their pass defense. But you got to give Matt, and they don't really rush the passer like that. So we should that. But then again, when you only got Kyle Pitts, I just don't know. Who you attack them with when you only got Kyle Pitts. I just that's
and
the thing. And I'm to be honest, they're gonna put Trayvon Diggs on Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, probably.
Or
whoever's lined up at 1 or whatever.
If he's at 1, if he takes Kyle Pitts out the game or he take Patterson out the game, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have no plan of attack, but I will say this: they thought that we would get steamrolled by the Saints.
Exactly. I was just about to say
and we showed our ass.
Yeah.
So you never know what coach. We won that game due to coaching. The coaches was ready. I can only have, faith in them that they know that the Dallas Cowboys are serious. And the coaching come ready to play.
Well, that's it.
Where they come ready to coach.
That's exactly right. Because you look at how we, how, like you said, how we won against the Saints. Like when we said it last week, when you're not super talented, your coaching and the scheme has got to be just spot on. And then you got to take advantage of every chance you get. And what you just said too about them not being, they just lost Randy Gregory today on a defensive line, and man was having a ridiculous season. And that's huge for us.
They're coming off of a horrific game. The Cowboys was on fire until last week. And you got to understand, man, Dak Prescott been having an amazing season. He played horrific last week.
Sure did.
So, but I think he was hurt. So, but so he may be back. But we are coming off of a high and they coming off a low. We can beat Dallas, man, because I believe in our team, but like I said, it's gonna rely on coaching. Because like John just said, when the Dallas Cowboys are clearly more talented than we are. It's no about that. But I believe we have the better coaching. To
I would
be
agree with
honest
that.
with you.
Yeah.
So
Far, I would agree with
happen.
that from what I've seen so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, looking at the rest of the, the rest of the injury report. I mean, Tyron Smith on offensive. I mean, that if that dude doesn't go, I mean, not not that we would even rush the passer with a backup or a third.
If he did, but it'll help.
I mean, anything
it'll help Grady some.
Anything will help. You know, that was probably the two biggest ones right there. It looks like they might get Michael Gallup back at some point. And Zeke, I think, was limited today, but he's limited a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna go. Yeah,
he's gonna play. Yeah. And then for us, basically, I mean, some good news is Dante Fowler practiced this week and was reinstated from IR, so he can come off. He can be activated basically anytime, whenever they feel he's ready to go. Stephen Means and Jonathan Bullard was limited at practice, and Kendall Sheffield and Lee Smith did not participate. They're probably going to be out. Both, I think, concussions. So, man,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm excited for our secondary for the chat. Because the Dallas receivers are thick, man. They got a lot of weapons over there, and we got a young secondary. I'm not saying that they will outplay Dallas. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is the fight that I wanted to see. Yeah. You know, I want to see. Here's how I'm gonna measure you, and I'll be able to really see if you playing somebody who isn't as talented as you. I expect for you to excel, right? The test comes if the person is equal or they better, if you step up or you step down or if you fall off. I just want to see how they handle the Dallas Cowboy wide receivers and the tight end. I'm dying to see this. And we got a Deion Jones and going. I want to see how our defense handles Dan. I mean, I want to see how they stand up to the offense. And I would love to see how the offense is gonna go at Dan Quinn's defense.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting. It's funny. I read an article, you know, too. It looks like Quinn is using a lot. He's doing a lot of man this year, which, you know, he basically was nothing but zone for a long time. But it looks like he is using a lot of man this year, which I mean is interesting. So it's going to be because he's going to have.
They're doing pretty well over there,
and he's going to know. But the thing is, he's going to know some of the players we have, but he's not going to. This is a completely different offense. I mean,
it's a whole new offense,
and it has to be because we don't have these studs that we've had in the past at the skill positions that we could, you know what I mean? We just can't. We don't have that. So we've had to, and like we talked about, you know, Arthur has to be creative, and Dave Ragone the offensive coordinator. He's got to be creative with what they do. So I trust that they're going to.
Man, it's really on them too.
Yeah.
No, I'm really putting the game on them too, but I have faith in them too that they come the ball out. I don't know why. I just got a good feeling about them too.
Yeah, you broke up there. What'd you say?
No, I just said I have a great. I do believe in them too, and I'm gonna always put my faith in Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah.
So I just think if we could keep the game close, and the whole thing about the Cowboys though that is hard to beat them is they can run and throw that ball
exactly.
And you don't know where it's coming from. When it come to us, man, you better hope that we can run just to keep them honest. If not, the game is over. But with Dallas, it's going to take our defense being its best to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into the next our next little segment. Basically, like, what do we have to do to win the game? If we're going to win the game, what do we have to do? So, and you just mentioned the very first thing. Can we run the ball? I mean, if that's the $1 million question. If we can't run at all, if we pull off 34 yards like we did last week against the Saints,
it's over.
I don't think we're winning that game.
No, you're not doing that against Dallas.
No. I mean, you're going to have to get. You can't you can't just run it up the gut to say you ran it. Like we got to see a little bit.
And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of that.
You know. So and you know, and I think Dave Ragone probably heard some of the talk about Mike Davis, and he did say this week that you know, he does a lot more in pass protection than people realize. Like, and that's which is true.
I agree.
You know, because I mean, he's a big body. He put himself in front of anybody. I mean, like if there's a blitz and linebacker or whatever, he's doing a great job of that. but we've got to have some type of running game.
We need you to run. Yeah, I mean, it's all good for you to block, but we need you to run.
Matt had a great game last year against them. I think he threw for 4 touchdowns and almost 300 yards. So, and look, I mean, Keanu Neal is not a great coverage safety. No. He will come up and hit you, but he's not a great coverage safety. I think KZ was improving before he tore his Achilles. So I mean, I just, I don't think. Ball hawk. Yeah, and I think and Trevon, comparing him to a little bit to the Saints. I mean, Trevon Diggs is kind of like their Lattimore, type of guy. So I mean, I think the Saints, I think the Cowboys have an edge at linebacker because they're looking at Micah Parsons and Van Der Esch, who are both everywhere making tackles. And I think Parsons
Van Der Esch
has 5 sacks. Yeah, and even Diggs has 7 interceptions. So I mean, those are the guys we have to watch out for. Their leading tackler actually on defense is Jerron Kearse, which is their safety, and he's leading in tackles by quite a bit.
So I got a question for you, buddy. Now you just said what we have to be able to do. Is there anything in your mind that you feel like we can't do? Like we better not do this on Sunday? And because I just heard you say what we should do. Is there anything you feel like
we definitely can't turn the ball over? I don't think we can afford one turnover.
Ooh, one. Jesus.
I don't think so,
one fumble, one interception.
I don't think you can afford to, because I mean, you're at their place. I mean, it's just, I don't think so, man.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm saying it was one thing I know we can't do because we at their place and it's Dallas, is the field goal thing.
Oh, 100%.
That got to be out, man. You cannot be 3, 6, 9, 12. And no, you can't, man. You better be scoring 7.
Yeah.
So I expect them to be aggressive, but I just got faith that he know who he playing. Arthur Smith has impressed me. And even though we 4-4, I'm impressed. So I think, like, you remember what me and John said about Quinn? He couldn't alter his approach per the situation. And like, he just had one approach. If it worked, he gonna stick with it, even if it's not working. I think that, man, Arthur Smith will be prepared for the Dallas Cowboys specifically.
Yeah, I agree. And so basically, hopefully we can run. We have some type of running game. We're going to have to take advantage of the players that they don't have. So if they don't have Tyron Smith, and we already know they don't have,
got to go right there. Yep.
So I mean, that's going to help. I mean, not having Gregory worrying about a pass rush, that's huge. You still got to deal with, like I said, with Parsons and some of the other guys they've got, but that's a big loss. And then, like we just talked about, you're going to have to keep being creative on offense to keep them guessing, because
most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they have no idea, I mean, and I think a lot of it comes too in the packages we send out. If we send out, Mike Davis and Pitts and Cordell in the same package, I mean, what do you do as a defense? Who do you key on, as a defense?
So, and Quinn is easily confused. So that should be he's easily confused.
Yeah.
And I still think he'll stick to his script. I don't think he's changed his whole,
Yeah.
I think he'll stick to his script if it's working or not.
It's funny. Somebody had tweeted too. I don't even know who it was, but somebody they put out there, like, who thinks that the Cowboys are going to lose this game because of some stupid decision that Dan Quinn makes? I mean, it's not like it's unfounded. I mean, like,
it's not.
Before.
I would not put it past him.
Thank God he's not controlling the time clock. I mean, that's one other thing he couldn't do is, Jesus.
I would hope he was the coach.
Yeah.
If he was the coach, I'd feel even better.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then too, the secondary, like we talked about, they're going to have their biggest test of the season against CD Lamb and Amari Cooper. So those guys are going to have to really, I mean, Terrell's going to keep doing what he's been doing. Moreau's going to have to really step up.
That's who we need.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how and then the biggest thing too for us on defense, we can't let Zeke run wild, because if he just has his way, then we're not winning that game.
We are at 4.4 yards per rush. It don't matter who running the ball. They are almost at 5 yards a clip.
Yeah.
Per time hear what I'm saying, y'all. Per person that runs the ball on us per rush is damn near 5 yards per rush. That is when it's Zeke, it's going to be 8 yards rush. You got to stop that.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, there's got to be something we've drawn up or something, because if we allow what happened in Carolina but they did it with 3 different backs basically. But if we allow Zeke to just control the game, and I mean we're sunk, because I mean that's actually I mean if he rushes for 150, we're probably not winning the game.
Do you recall who was the Panthers' leading rusher in that game, John?
Was what's his name, right? The running back.
No, it was the quarterback, Sam Darnold. Yeah, it was Sam Darnold.
Oh, he was second.
I thought he was first.
He's first or second. He was definitely first or second. And he had way too many damn yards.
Sam Darnold ran on us is my point. So I just feel like, man, if you can't stop Zeke, then you can't stop the pass. And if we can't run, then we can't pass. So it's the same principle applies to both teams.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's going to come down to coaching.
Yeah. And on paper, I mean, it looks like the Cowboys would win. I mean,
but it did with the Saints.
Right. And you put a gun to my head, I'm probably picking the Cowboys. But it's like last week showed, it's the NFL. You don't know what's going to happen. And if anything, last week, because I mean, I looked at who we had played and how we performed. We beat the Dolphins. We beat the Jets. We beat the Giants. And we lost to, I mean, the Panthers. Like we shouldn't have lost to. We lost to the Bucks, which is good. That's fine. We lost to the Washington football team, which we should have won. So, and then we got just destroyed by the Eagles, but I think that was the first game of the season, and I don't even think about that game. But so going into the Saints game, I wasn't overly that's why I picked them to win 27-13, just based on, I mean, the good teams we had played, we didn't really perform very well against them.
Right.
So that just shows me that the progression that we wanted to see from these guys, they're taking these steps and they're getting better. So that gives me a little bit of confidence. I'm scared to death to say it, but it gives me a little bit of confidence for this week.
But if you're being honest, if you're a Falcon fan and you're being honest, if we won or lost, we went up per game for the year. They always kind of improved in the way they looked and how they managed the game, and the coaching improved, the players improved per game.
Yeah, I think the Panthers
to be our best effort.
The Panthers game was one of those ones where you just you burn the tape, you don't watch it, you're just like, okay, that happens.
It really was.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was just bad overall. But I mean, you're right. I mean, the players, they're getting better.
Making big strides in the secondary, big strides you're gonna hear me say this. They're improving on the cohesiveness of the offensive line.
You're right. Dude, Jaylen Mayfield.
Those guys
killed Jaylen Mayfield at the beginning because it's sort of not fair because he's a rookie, and he's, like we said, he's basically he's learning on the go, man. Like he's having to protect Matt Ryan.
On the go. That's a hard job. Yeah.
And we were really hard on him the beginning.
Yeah, we was hard on the whole line. But here's what we did say too. The offensive line, you would think is about talent, is really not. If you study football, the longer those 5 dudes stay together, the better the quarterback is protected.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter. They already know cohesive. He know if I step to the right, he gonna step to his right. So it's not he know how I'm gonna stand. He know if I'm off balance, how he can, just the cohesiveness of that group of 5 people, and I can already see it. It's still not where it need to be, but it's better every game.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, the guys, they know each other's strengths, they know each other's weaknesses. And the more they work together, the better it can be. Because you saw our lines over the years, when you patchwork, put it together, bring in a guy off the freaking scrap heap, and it just never.
It never worked.
No, I mean, once we got Alex Mack in there to solidify the center position, and then you had you got Matthews on the left tackle, and I mean we went through a few guys, and we went through Wes Schweitzer.
We went through a lot of dudes. Yeah,
I mean, we went through.
It was kind of makeshift at a point.
Yeah, no, it has been. And so, it's just
But hold on, John. We just started this podcast already, 2021. Me and John have said we like the offensive play calling, the coaching, and now the offensive line getting compliments. Man, I think we starting to get soft, John. I don't know what's going on, man. Is
Well,
Stranger Things, or is this like I don't know what's happening?
I don't
Because
know,
these
man.
things that me and John for decades, me and John ain't gonna say that we like the coaching. For decades, it ain't gonna be shit play calling. And for decades, you're not gonna hear the offensive line.
2016, we were very happy with everything that happened in the Super Bowl.
5 years ago.
Yeah. So after,
but you didn't hear us speak like. But here's what I'm saying: you didn't hear us speak this way before the Super Bowl little era thing.
No,
and afterwards,
no.
So it was only for them 2 years that we said anything about it. So now we saying we like the coaching, we like the play calling, and we giving props to the offensive line. Go Falcons. And the secondary even got a little. I don't know what's happening, buddy. I don't know. And we 4-4. Like maybe why are we so high?
Maybe we got Falcons glasses on. We just can't.
We 4-4, and we giving props to all it. It gotta be. Come on, I need y'all to write in, call in, and trash us. Trash us for this, because we giving props to a 4-4 team, and we get all this nice bacon, cookies, compliments. Man, y'all should write in and trash us.
This is what it is. It's because our expectations were fucking lower than zero.
That is a good point.
Before the season started.
No, you know what? Good point.
We had nothing. We were like, shit. If we win 2 games, I mean, you know.
And I quote, I always got to bring this quote back in. John said a few shows back, he looked at our schedule and said, I feel good about 3 games, man. That's 3, and that's from 16 games. He felt good about 3. So that just show you that the bar we had was low. I didn't expect, that's part of AJ to do this. I didn't expect him. Not. No. There was no way. I thought that the line was going to mesh, or that I didn't, and that especially the coach. I was not a fan of Arthur Smith. I didn't know what. I'm impressed, man, by everybody. Yeah. But like John said, it's just because you think it's gonna be a shitty year and we probably gonna win 4 games, and we won 4 games already.
Yeah. So now it's just like if we make my God, dude, if we beat the Cowboys and we're still
if we make the playoffs.
My God, man. What a.
All right, so hold on for a minute. I gotta ask you this too. If we based on there's a chance we win enough games to make the playoffs. Say we make the playoffs, we playing how we are playing now. If you have to get a jersey of a player, whose jersey do you get that you don't already have? To support us in the play, like, come on, we did great. That was a great season. Whose jersey do you go get?
Probably Pitts or Terrell.
Maybe I'm gonna say Terrell. Yeah,
say Terrell. It's hard. I love Grady, man. I'd love to get one of his, and that's probably so. Yeah.
I gotta get that black Matt Ryan one. I got the red one. I gotta get the black Matt Ryan.
I've got a black one too. I got a black Julio.
I gotta get the black. Oh yeah, Julio! Shout out to you, buddy. If we don't win a Super Bowl, my God, I hope you get one, buddy. You or Matt Stafford,
dude. So we'll before we get to our prediction, we will finish on this. Two big pieces of news today. OBJ signed with the Rams about an hour and a half ago. Mm-hmm. So they're going for it big time. And
they're going for the ring.
Yeah. And the other one was Cam Newton back with the Panthers.
Well, goodbye, Sam Darnold. Hey, man, this is Cam's final go of it. And I just wish him the best. I know the dude has put in the work. I'm going to be honest with you. Cam has not improved over time to me. Like, I don't see him getting better and better and better. I just don't see it. The man doesn't throw touch passes. He throw 8 yards out, it's going to be a full-on bullet. And he can't run like he used to. So now when it's just your arm and your intelligence, I don't know, but I still think he's a better than Sam Darnold. I think that I'm better.
I think I probably agree. And I've never been, y'all know I'm an Alabama fan,
and
so
he deserves to be a, if he lead a game of football, he need to leave it as a Panther.
I agree. Yeah. And I also say, I mean, y'all know I'm an Alabama fan, so I did not like him because he was at Auburn, and because he beat us one year really badly in the Iron Bowl, and then I did not like him because he went to the Panthers, and that's one of our rivalries. And he's always talking, of course. So one of my favorite moments was when Dion hit him in the mouth right at the goal line.
Love it.
That was woke him up. But yeah, there's no denying a man's talent, man. I mean, he's a gigantic dude who can run, who has a freaking arm that can, I mean, but you're right. I think, from the Super Bowl, that when they went to the Super Bowl, I think from then it was pretty much just pretty much the same. And that's not, he didn't make any big jumps or anything like that. It was just kind of flattened out. So yeah, it'll be fun to play him one more time though. I hope he starts whenever.
It is. No, I do too. I just want to play him one more time, and I hope I hope he be smart with his money, because I don't want him to play until he can't walk. He's a running quarterback. I know he was injured. I hope he did. Luke Kuechly, I thought was smart. Is you take your money, you invest it, and you walk off when you feel like walking off. I believe at the point he's at now, he's hanging around a bit too. When you hurt, it seemed like the teams don't. Right. I just want you to have some class about yourself and your dignity, and you walk off and you're healthy and you're young and you're rich.
Yeah. And I think he's got a cigar shop or a cigar bar downtown, I think, in Atlanta. Good. So I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure he does. I could be.
Shout out to Cam.
But
and Odell Beckham, he getting his second go of it.
Yeah, it's apparently Cleveland's going to pay, I think, like $4 million of his salary, and so that means LA picks up like 2 points. Was they only had? I think LA only had $2.6 million left. They got him. That team nothing. They got. I mean,
So they got him for nothing.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
They got to win this year though.
Yeah,
and they got to stop paying people next year.
Yeah, and they don't have any draft picks forever because they just keep trading
them. Right.
They're going all in to get it. So anyway. So we'll move on to the pick segment of our show now. So we introduced Liam, my 11-year-old son.
Liam is kicking our, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 2-0 so far.
And he's 2-0.
Yeah.
And you see how he just pointed out. He didn't have to point that out. He didn't have to point it out, but he pointed it out because the kid is the kid,
Yeah. So Mike,
I'm gonna start at this. I'm gonna say, since we playing Dallas, I know it's gonna be a difficult game. I'm thinking 28-24 Atlanta Falcons.
All right.
We're going high scoring.
Do you want to go next or me to go? I'm about to shock you, dude.
Uh-oh.
So
John gonna say something really mean to our Falcon Nation. I can see it in his eyes. Or he might shock me. Hold on for a minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be kind of high scoring like it was last year.
Okay.
I'm banking on us being able to do enough running that we can successfully throw. And I'm banking on Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone doing what they did last week with the offense. And I think we're going to win 31-23.
Oh, Johnny. Hey, wait a minute, y'all. If we had a siren, John just picked John is so realistic. John gonna tell you when we gonna lose, man. He gonna just let it fly. I really thought it was coming. He picked the Saints again. I really thought he was gonna pick Dallas. John, now hold on for a minute. I gotta stop you there.
My brain still says Dallas. But
what makes you think? Why you pick the Falcons? Is there a reason? Is there a player that would? Because I really thought you was gonna be like, nah, buddy. I know I love the team, but I don't think we're gonna get this one. What would make you think we win?
Blind.
And you say high scoring at that.
Yeah.
Blind ignorance. That's great. That's at least you honest.
No, I mean, no, that is no. Honestly, it's the confidence that we coming off last week. I mean, I feel like that helps them, and I feel like, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just, I got those Falcon tinted goggles on and I can't see anything. But
I know I do.
But no, I just think that it would honestly pain me. It'd pain me to say the Saints were going to win. It'd pain me again to say this, to pick the Cowboys. So, I mean, I just hope, like I said, I hope the run game can do enough where we can throw. If we don't turn the ball over, and if our defense can do just enough, they're going to give up points. But I mean, hopefully we're not getting blown out by like 4 touchdowns or something. And we all look like idiots. But yeah, that's it. That's all. I mean, I'm honestly though, I think it's just me wanting them to win so badly that I'm picking them. I don't,
to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, something like that. All right, Liam, what you got, buddy?
Liam, what have you, buddy?
I was gonna pick this Dallas, but I'm gonna be biased right now. I'm gonna pick 27-24.
So last week you.
So his is a point.
He picked 27-25 last week, and you got it right. So what? You're gonna pick 1 point different this week?
Actually, 27-25.
No. You keep your regular one. You keep 27.
Yeah. So I said 28-24, and he's saying 27-24. Is that what he's saying? Or he's saying 27-25?
He said, 27-24.
27. That's an odd. All right.
So it's 27-25, but he got that one.
Yeah. See, here's what I tell y'all. I don't know what he knows, but he picks the most odd numbers and they hit. So I'm thinking he must he must be mobbed up, and he tell him if you score again. He's got a guy who has a kid in like a basement tied up. That if you catch a pass, he gonna break your legs or something. I don't know what's going on. But so all 3 of us pick Atlanta.
How about that?
I want y'all to see this because it's a groundbreaking moment. Father and son were on the verge of picking Dallas and both picked Atlanta. You gotta give them props for the Yateses. You gotta give the Yates props, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So I mean,
loyal to a fault.
And I don't care if we win 20-19, if we win 6-3. I just want to win the damn game, man.
You just want to win.
Yeah. I mean, I hope
it'd be so big for us to beat the Cowboys because that's a good team that we wouldn't. Yeah.
Even though I mean,
and we wouldn't get no props for it. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. The only thing that you would hear was, "Man, the Cowboys on a downward slide after Denver. Then they lays to Atlanta. These guys are not playing their best football." It would be like, "Oh man, Atlanta is balling."
No.
But I'm not trying to be 500 again. I don't want to go below 500.
It'd be what did the Falcons? It would be what did the Cowboys not do?
They'll do. Yeah. Yep.
But the only good thing too. Well, not only good thing, but it's either going to be good or bad. They're coming off, like you said earlier, that terrible loss against Denver. I mean, maybe they give us a little bit of idea of how to play on offense against them because I mean they obviously had a hell of a lot of success. So I mean, maybe we can look at that film and not to say that they're not going to be just anticipating us to do that, but I mean, at least that never hurts. You look at the film from last week and go, hey, Denver can do this.
You just see what they did. Yep.
Maybe we can too. But I don't know, man. That's. I hope it, like you said, turns in our favor. And we're talking about a 5-4 team that's possibly rolling toward the playoffs. Possibly.
All right, I gotta ask you this before we leave. Who's your favorite Cowboy of all time?
Is that what?
I'm saying you gotta pick one. There's been so many stars on the Cowboys. Who's your favorite? If you had to pick one, who you liked? I'm not saying you like the team, but a player who you kind of thought was the most. It's like Luke Kuechly. I don't like the Panthers.
Yeah, right.
But I thought he was amazing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Dang, that's a tough one.
Ever.
You know what? I got it. I really like Darren Woodson.
Darren Woodson was good. Darren Woodson was pretty. Yes, I give you that.
I liked him. And he was just hard hitting safety.
He was
smart player.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of off the wall, but I didn't want to say like Emmett, or.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. A matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and just be so wrong and just say Deion Sanders, even though it was for a year. I'm gonna say Deion. He played receiver. He did kick return, punt return, and cornerback over there. Yeah. Deion was something else. Mm-hmm. And he brought them a ring.
Yeah, you're right. Sure did.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that'll wrap up our preview show for the Cowboys. We talked about quite a few things, but we said we were going to do that pretty much every episode, so we couldn't miss it down there. But so we will come back with you probably Sunday, I'm guessing Sunday evening.
Sunday.
After the
And
game.
we will be high in spirit, riding off the W with the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
We will be on 1,000.
Yep, that is the absolute goal right there. So, but anyway, guys, before we head out, again, you can reach us on our email at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Out of Your Falcon Mind, on Twitter at Out of Your Effing Mind, and you can join the Facebook group if you'd like to do that. Put in any topics you want, and like we said at the beginning of the show, if you by chance missed it, if you're a Falcons fan and you don't live in Atlanta or you're not from here, you're not from Georgia, we would love for you to send us a message on how you became a fan, why you became a fan, and we will for sure share those on the show. And like we said, we're going to have a few. We already got one guy lined up to come on the show. We just got to pick a date and do it. So looking forward to that. So anyway, guys, that is Out of Your Falcon Mind. That is episode 8. That is the preview show of the Falcons at the Cowboys. Let's go get them Cowgirls on Sunday.
Let's go get them. And if you're out of your Falcon mind and you know that your brother's out of his Falcon mind, if your sister's out of her Falcon mind, if your boss is out of his Falcon mind, tell people about the podcast. When you go on, man, just share it. Like I said, I want you and all your friends, I want everybody to be part of our Falcon family, man. The bigger it grows, the more fun it is.
Oh, yes.
We all going to be out of our Falcon minds together.
That is right. Couldn't agree more, man. That's the way to end it right there. We are Out of Your
Falcon
Mind, and we will catch you on Sunday after Dirty Birds win.
We will win.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.